We're back, Third Phase of Moon. My name is Blake Cousins, and we're live, taking your calls from around the world in regards to UFO phenomenon, extraterrestrial activity, whatever it is, the unusual, the strange, the unexplained. We're taking your calls. Just last week, we were breaking news out of Wilmington. We had some callers that called in regards to a major flash over the skies of Wilmington, Ohio, and they thought it could have been a plane crash, but there was no reports. They called the police. They were getting the same sightings. Then we started to ask people on the ground what they thought it could be, and they were wondering if it could have been some kind of alien extraterrestrial craft, maybe crashing into the Wilmington area. And videos were posted the next day. Third Phase of Moon got the credit, breaking news on the radio show. So we're taking calls from around the world, and who knows what kind of breaking news we're going to be getting into next. But we're going to go to our first caller. She goes by the name of Aqua. She was making contact with us at Third Phase of Moon for about a week now, and we wanted to get her on the radio and, speak to her about what she wanted to share with us at Third Phase of Moon. Aqua, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, Aqua.
Yeah, anyways.
Thanks for being on the show. I know you were sharing some pictures with me in regards to your resemblance to what kind of possible alien civilization?
The Pleiadians, yes.
The Pleiadians. And do you think it's possible that you are a Pleiadian yourself?
I think that I have a great connection to them, if nothing else.
All right, Aqua, can you tell us who the Pleiadians are and what their mission here on Earth is? Have they been to Earth?
Well, basically the Pleiadians are just a race of people that look just like you or me. They're just like Nordic in resemblance. They're tall somewhat, but basically their mission here is to help enlighten people and to bring them into the light and to help end the cycle that has been cycling on this world for quite some time and breaking us of our bad ways and helping us become enlightened, and so we can evolve into the next stage.
It sounds like it's a great message. There are some other people that we've done documentaries, the Alien Abduction Diaries, and some explain that some of the extraterrestrials basically aren't so friendly, and their experiences are quite traumatic. We're going to be getting to the next callers here real soon, so just stand by. Go ahead, Aqua.
I know, it seems really weird when I recall it. A lot of people, when I usually tell them, they usually dismiss it as something as folly or just something that I've made up or whatever. And I wonder about it today, and I still don't know what it is exactly, but I remember I was in middle school. I was just starting. I was in 6th grade. And I remember I was doing, my own thing, anxious and whatnot. And then I remember I woke up back when I was in elementary school. Something was weird. I had no idea what was going on. I talked to my mom. I told her what was going on. She just basically said I was having a bad dream. So I wondered what happened with all those years of my life. I was a kid again, and I had to live all of that over again. So it helped me become enlightened faster, I think, or I guess something, I don't know.
Very interesting, Aqua. We're going to be, you stand by. We want to get to some more questions, but people are calling into Third Phase Moon, maybe wanting to report a UFO sighting right now. So we're going to take calls from around the world.
I was going to tell you about a UFO sighting, too.
Just stand by, Aqua. We're going to get to your UFO sighting. Area code 305, welcome to Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, hello. You're on air.
Yeah, Blake, I don't know, we talked before. I pretty much sent you an image of my implant, man. I pretty much took that out myself. I don't know if you remember pretty much.
I recall a conversation we had on the radio where you were going to basically do a self-operation removing the implant, and have you done so?
Yeah, man, it's already out. It's because pretty much when I was talking to you, it was already out, I was pretty much explaining to you that it was insane, man. I have so much to tell you, but I didn't know where to start. But yeah, man.
it would have been really nice to have the X-ray first with the implant within the body, no doubt.
Yeah, I send you the X-ray. Blake. I send you the picture and the X-ray with it.
And if there is anybody out there that believes that they have an implant within their bodies, I do not suggest to do the self-operation, because we have doctors that are, that help Third Phase Moon and will help anybody out there. If they have a photographic evidence of an X-ray and an implant within the body, show it to us, and we will extract it with medical, surgeons that are certified to operate, and then extract the metal and analyze it through people that do the chemistry analyzation of these materials, and then we'll find out if it's smoking gun footage of
exactly.
Elements. So unfortunately, the steps kind of went ahead of yourself doing the self-operation. Sorry to say.
Yeah, no, I had to do it, Blake. Like I said, I didn't even have the money for it. I didn't know who to talk to. So I was like, the fact is, I felt it in my body for years. And let me just even start from the beginning. Since I was a kid, since second grade, I've literally been drawing crop circles since I was a kid. I remember back in the early 2000s when sci-fi was going on. I remember the original logo of sci-fi. Back in those years, they used to give so many things on UFOs. But now, of course, the government isn't stupid. So right now, there hasn't been nothing, absolutely nothing on TV regarding to that. So whatever, since I was a baby, I've been into this stuff. So whatever, I grew up, whatever. The subject got out of my head, whatever. I grew up, whatever. I had a girlfriend, you move on. And let me just say, Blake, you have no idea what it's like to be paralyzed in bed. It is the worst feeling in the world. It's something that I'm trying to talk to a hypnosis about it, but I do remember everything because I had my eyes open. But the thing is that my body was paralyzed. Just imagine yourself in a position where you put yourself in a coffin, a dead body, and that's the position that you're in. You can't move whatsoever. You're paralyzed. At this moment, pretty much I was finishing middle school. Pretty much, I was just a kid. I was young, but I was active. I knew what was going on. I knocked out, and Blake, you have no idea, man. I wake up in the middle of the night, paralyzed. This happened for only 2 months. That's the weird crap about it. I went to my teachers, for the doctors, and they didn't know what it was. They're like, there's nothing that exists that, you're just paralyzed in bed. I'm like, so yeah, to this day it's been crazy, man.
Interesting, very interesting. The adolescence is, in many cases, when it starts, the alien contact possibility is possible. I want to ask you, and I want to get to Aqua here. How old were you when this incident happened?
I was 14, pretty much 14 to 13 at the moment.
Aqua, how about you?
This was when I was right before middle school.
They all talk about missing time and being paralyzed, like you said, in your bed. You're frozen. You really can't do anything.
Crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Your heartbeat just goes nuts. That's the thing. I remember I was awake, and nothing but my eyes and my eyelids were, in function. They were literally awake. So right at the moment, I was literally stiff. I was trying to break free, literally trying to break free. So right there at the moment, I was blinking. I was panicking. My heart was racing like nuts. And at the same time, there was this freaking bright light in front of me. So think about it, Blake. I was panicking. So at the moment, I closed my eyes and I'm like, okay, break free. This is nothing. It's a dream. Next thing you know, I opened my eyes again and the thing was still in front of me. So I was tripping out, Blake. You have no idea what it's like. And this was going on for 2 months, man. 2 months.
When you say this thing, can you describe the thing?
Blake, because I don't even know where to start. It was a light. I'm not gonna say it was a figure and it had a big head. No, I saw the figure. The light was so, because let's just say it was bright. It was so bright that I saw the outer line of the thing. I don't know what it is, but it sure was a beam. I'm not saying it was a big head. I'm not saying it was an alien, but I saw the outline of it, but I did not see no details of the face. But whatever, I saw the thing, and I tripped out. So right there at the moment when I saw this thing in front of my bed, because it was right across the closet, I closed my eyes and I'm like, okay, wake up. When you're gonna open your eyes again, it's gonna be gone. Next thing you know, I opened my eyes and the thing was still there, but this time this thing teleported in front of my bed and not walk, because when you walk, you're walking towards it, but this thing just went phew, phew, phew. I tripped out. I shit it in my pants so bad that I literally just left the room. Like that's the moment where I pretty much like broke free and like the paralysis just literally broke. Like that was the most amazing part of it. That like when I was so scared that this thing literally just did that move, I broke free, and it was so crazy that I didn't even want to look what was in front of me. I literally ran out the room, my room. And that's the funny thing, that it was a 2-story house back in the time, because I'm still living in Miami, but years ago I had a 2-story house. So I have a feeling these freaking things took advantage of it. They're like, hey, 2-story house, that's my theory. So I don't know. It's pretty insane. It really is.
Well, what we've heard as far as a possible alien abduction attempt on yourself, that if you don't want to go along, the best way to avoid it is do exactly what you did. You could avoid some of these situations by running, and I would suggest running now with everybody and the technology. The cameras are out there, and that's what we want right here at Third Phase Moon is, real evidence, real footage of UFOs. Aqua, I want to get to you about your UFO sighting shortly, but I'm going to go to area code 402. Welcome, you're on Third Phase of Moon.
Hi, honey, thank you for taking my call. I've never called into any kind of UFO show before, but I'm kind of worried about my mom.
Yep.
She's actually, in the past 2 weeks, I think, has seen 2 different kinds of what sounds like to me aliens that have appeared to her. My mom's 83. Okay, she's 83. She has never seen any of this alien stuff. I actually saw a UFO in the sky one time, but actually I've seen twice, 2 different places, but it's nothing I've ever dwelt on. We don't talk about it. I'm not a UFO follower or any of that, okay? And my mom doesn't know any of this, and my mom is psychic, though, and so this is why it's kind of scared me. I mean, one day, I don't know if you've heard of it sounds like an alien to me. It was tall and like the gray color that you hear about.
This is what your mother of 83 is explaining to you.
But it had clothes on. It had a gray and white like dress. It was a female. She said it was a female, but it had those great big eyes and like the gray head. And
Aqua, do you
it was
have
standing
any,
in front of her.
Aqua, there are many types of species of extraterrestrials that are possibly visiting Earth. People claim, people in the government have come out and said it. I'm not saying it. We're going off what people have come out and said it. Nuclear physicists, doctors, all believe that there's many species of aliens among us. Aqua, does this sound like a familiar species to you?
Yeah, basically one of a few that are out there that I know about.
I've never heard of one being described with clothes. Or as a female. I mean, she said it was a gray and a white, like long dress type thing, just straight dress thing. But it had the big head and the, big eyes, and it was just standing there looking at her. And then it was gone.
Interesting. I want to get some more questions to you. We've spoken
There was another one, too. Another one. Like a week later, she wakes up and sees this. It was a tall, ugly, like scary-looking green thing. Green and skinny.
And where is this exactly happening? In the general area?
She sleeps downstairs in a hospital bed. I'm sorry, Midwest.
Gotcha. And how did you come across Third Phase of Moon? And
I listen to Blog Talk. I listen to Blog Talk Radio, and I thought I could find somebody here that could know something and help me. I'm worried.
Well, I could definitely understand your concern when your mom.
Because my mom's not going to make that up, and she's never, she doesn't see movies or anything, and she is psychic. I mean, she can see spirits, but these look like aliens.
We've spoken to Abduction. He's an alien abduction expert because we call it that. He's been abducted many times, and he has really great evidence of UFO activity and incredible footage of aliens themselves. And he claims that he was abducted, and when he returned in, the famous abduction case, Betty and Barney Hill. And for some odd reason, he returned in Betty's dress, and his name is Stan Romanek. And the reports that come in through all these testimonies, that they come in many shapes and sizes. They kind of come in sometimes the way you want to perceive them, or sometimes in their true form. But it's quite interesting that you're bringing up the dress thing.
I've never heard of that.
We know that J. Rod, Area 51, Dan Birch, the Ron Gardner connection, that there were suits made for the J. Rod being in Area 51. So, but it wasn't a dress.
See, I don't even know what you're talking about. I know about Area 51, but I don't know what you mean by J. Rod or any of that. I mean, so that's why I'm saying for her to describe something that, looks like an alien, what I have heard an alien looks like, it's kind of scary. And two different kinds coming the same place.
Would it be possible for us to have a camera crew on the ground so we could, get some more questions and maybe answers from your mom?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think she would like that.
Well, you ask her, because, we've, there's been many people
I will.
come out.
I mean, maybe I could meet you somewhere. Yeah, that'd be fine. She actually, you know what? Actually, my mom did see, the UFO thing once. And she might have been abducted, because I think there was some time lapse that, for years I just didn't pay attention. I was thinking that she was talking about, the sun or whatever, but no, she saw when she was younger.
Wow,
she did see.
It's been less than 20 minutes right here at Third Phase Radio Live, and the past three callers are all explaining this time loss, possible alien abduction. Something's going on. The phenomenon is real, and it's not a joke. 4 million people claim that they've been abducted every year right here in the United States. That's a big percentage. If there was
do people see this tall green thing?
Let me tell you, they see all kinds of things. And like I'm saying, the phenomenon is real, and it could be...
Why are they coming into my living room?
The green thing, what you're explaining to me, sounds like what is known as the reptilian. And the reptilian is more of like a lizard-shaped, alien being. And they're not the good guys of the aliens. They're the ones
These
that
are bad, right? Yeah.
Those aren't the good guys by no means.
What else is really weird is that my daughter is, one of the best attorneys I've ever seen. We never believed in this kind of stuff or anything, and she's also got gifts, psychic gifts, and she had a dream years ago that aliens came, and she was protecting a child, and they were out to kill us. They were not good. And it was weird that she would dream such a thing when we never talked about or believed in, really, UFOs.
Well, that's the thing. People, in general, when they hear UFO, their first response is, if they've never seen one or had any reaction, if they're kind of, into that kind of theory, they're just going to pass it off, because the media puts it out.
Right.
When they talk about it, you hear it on the news. They're going to put this tongue-in-cheek laugh at it and bring in the X-Files or Twilight Zone music and tease it out, and then and then people, for the first time, they actually capture a UFO. We deal with the people that capture the UFOs on a daily basis, and a lot of them are first-timers. They're not UFO hunters. They're just in the right place at the right time. Everybody has a camera, and then when they capture it, then that's what starts getting, the thought process going in the right direction, because you got to have an open mind about these things. And from what I'm hearing,
I'm kind of, was that guy, that Canadian diplomat or whatever, was that real? That was on YouTube? That he got up and spoke and said that there were all these aliens. Is that real, or was that just a joke somebody put together?
You have to look inside your heart.
Go ahead, Aqua. Yep.
I just said you have to look inside your heart for the answer.
No, I meant it was on YouTube, and I don't know if it was something somebody just put together and made up, or did he really get up in front of Parliament?
No, there was recently in Washington, D.C., the citizen hearing, and there were congressmen there that were taking testimony from the people that worked at the Prime Ministry of Defense. We've spoken with them, Nick Pope, the Canadian. I think his equal of Canada came to the citizen hearing as well, and they all believe that. So I believe what you're saying is it's not a joke. No, it's absolutely real. We just spoke with astronaut Edgar Mitchell, sixth man to walk on the moon. And he's right there in the same theory, that we're not alone in this universe, and there's a cover-up. And, they're going to come, and it's going to happen, and it might not be too far away.
Well, have you heard any correlation between, is it only people, do they only show themselves to people they want to show themselves to? I don't know if it's real. Is this really aliens, or is this demons she's seeing, or, she got a brain tumor? I don't know.
Many times, reptilians and demons are confused with each other.
Well, that's why I'm calling to ask. And did anybody ever see an alien? She said it had the alien eyes, but, she did. Are people that have seen, like, UFOs in the sky, are they the ones that are later visited or abducted, or?
Well, we've had the UFO summoner, Robert Bingham, right there in downtown L.A. He claims that he can summon UFOs at will, and we invited the public to show up. Things happened. Unidentified objects were in the skies. What they were, we don't know exactly. What was interesting was the verbiage on the ground from the crowds. Some people were calling them angels, and then some people were calling them demons. And it's just quite interesting where people's thoughts go on it. And, we don't really have the answers exactly for that. But, we're taking calls from around the world. We have another caller in, and maybe we've got some more breaking news. Everybody stand by. Area code 214. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing good tonight.
Can you hear me?
Taking the calls in live. Have you seen a UFO in the recent? You want to share anything breaking right now live?
I have some really cool information. Basically, this is really strange, but just a little background on me. I grew up in Honduras, and I grew up on an island next to Mayan temples and stuff, and basically. I've seen aliens this multiple times. Now it's just kind of strange. You can hear it in my voice. I'm just kind of scared because literally what's happened is from what I hear on the internet, I never really hear people describe what I saw, which it's just interesting because somebody who I have no contact with has seen the same thing as me. So it was just kind of confirmation that what I saw was,
all right.
And what that was.
Okay.
What that was
take a breath. Let's hear exactly what it was. Go ahead.
Okay. Basically, I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was looking at them, and I saw behind their head a shooting star. And I looked at that person, and we were talking about somebody dying. And I said, hey, that's so weird that your mom is, like, in the hospital dying, because, like, right when you said that, there was a shooting star behind her head. And right whenever I said that, I closed my eyes, and then I saw this, like, disc. And the disc had, like, this really intricate camouflage around it, and there was a being on top of the disc. And he was only about 40 feet away from me, like hovering over my head, you know. So I got up, and I had a high school friend who I've known for 10 years. We were at a party, and I jumped up and I said, hey, I don't mean to freak you out, but I just saw an alien. And right whenever I said that, there was a loud crash. Almost 100%, I'm sure, like the being had jumped off the craft onto the roof of this building. And my friend looked at me, and he was very scared. So here's where it gets interesting.
That's a good start. Keep on going. It's really good when you're not alone when this is going down.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but this happened in 2008, and I've never told this story publicly, and I've just told this to, like, my friends. So they're pretty aware of what my experience was. So last night, I'm talking to my girlfriend, and she said, well, one of her friends that lives very close to my house, she woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a bright light in her backyard. And she went to the backyard, and she saw the light, so she started screaming, and she started trying to wake up her family, and nobody would get up. And so that's why I called you, is because I watched your show. I've been watching your show for months, but when you started saying that people are having these time lapses, you know, this just happened like 2 days ago. Like, literally, she said she was screaming, trying to wake up her family, and she went out in the backyard because nobody would wake up, and there was beings walking around in her backyard, and the beings were literally the same. What I heard from the description was the same exact description that I gave from my 2008 encounter as to what their skin looked like, to how tall they were. And so she woke up in the morning, and her family was laughing at her and was like, oh, did they come get you, you know, kind of joking around with her. And they went into her backyard, and in her backyard there's a crop circle, like, you know, just like in a regular house. So
let me stop you right there. First of all, again, now it's been about 35 minutes. We've been live on the radio. At least 3 to 4 callers have been talking about time lapse, lost time, possible alien abduction, being frozen, all the above. And what is going on? I don't understand it myself, but when you're explaining it to me, it makes the hairs rise up on the back of my neck, because something is going on, and we just can't explain it. Do you have pictures? Do you have pictures of this crop circle in the backyard?
Yeah, I mean, like, this is totally one of the cases where, like, you know, this is a Hispanic woman, and she's, like, not interested in sci-fi stuff. She doesn't watch, like, alien movies, or, I mean, this is, like, really, she was freaked out, and this just, like, came to me. But like I said, this is where I'm going to kind of, like, sync it up, like, and, like, really expose some stuff here. So basically, like, I've had, like, several experiences where after my first experience, I was able to kind of, like, know what to look for, so to speak, because I've learned that they have some sort of camouflage technology. So this happened, I live in Dallas, Texas, by the way. So about a year ago.
My mom lived in Dallas when she had the experience with the light and all of that.
Yeah, see, so that's like what I'm about to explain is, like, see, Dallas has a lot to do with this.
When did this experience happen? It just happened a couple days ago, or it happened yesterday?
Yeah, that just happened like 3 days ago.
Okay.
So
something's going on in Dallas. Go ahead.
Yeah. So here's where like it gets really intense. So because I had like this experience in 2008, and I've also had other experiences, but here's like the real evidence to me is I've been with my girlfriend for about 4 years. Like this happened about a year ago. I'm sleeping in my bed at night, and I had this dream, and I felt the presence like of them, and that's what I'm going to call them. Like I felt like a deer, like, and I could sense that hunters were coming, and this is in my dream. And I woke up and I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, turn on the heater, turn on the heater. And why I was saying that is because in my dream something told me that they were scared of a certain type of vibration, and that whenever like my air conditioner kicked on, it would have made this noise. So I'm telling my girlfriend about probably like 16 hours later, I have this really like intimate moment, and I'm like, I don't want you to think I'm crazy because I'm talking about aliens. I was like, if anything like this ever happened to you, like, don't be scared to tell me. And I remember it because we were coming home from the movies, and when I was telling her that, and we walked in the house, and I turned on the TV, and right on the TV, on the news, on my local news channel, it said, UFO spotted over Dallas. And I'm sure you remember the meteorite that streaked across the south, and it was going really slow? Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's so weird is like they were showing it, and then when they first saw it, they were like calling it a UFO, and it was going really, really slow. And I talked to like several people about it, and they ended up telling me that it landed like really close to like Fort Worth or something like that. And my girlfriend was like shocked. She was like, wait a second, you just woke up last night screaming that you felt the presence of a UFO, and I'm sitting here watching on my TV that there's a UFO over Dallas. And I was like, I told you, I felt it. It was just strange.
Well, it was exactly like last week's call. We had a call in from Wilmington, Ohio, and an hour before we went on air, the incident happened, some kind of event that was spotted from Dayton to Wilmington and made the news, but the first reports came in right from Thirdphaseofmoon Radio last week, basically this time, and it was the event was out there, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to break news, trying to find answers. We were ready to do something for a massive event to find out and get in our possession an alien body. We were ready to go to the big step. We want the alien body, and we're going to get it in Thirdphaseofmoon's hands. And I really can't say what kind of steps we're going to go through to possibly pull this off. But the whole point was it might have happened. And then we decided, hey, wait a minute. We started asking the questions to all the ufologists around the world, the experts, from astronauts to nuclear physicists to doctors, surgeons, material scientists. Would it be a national security if we had an alien body in our possession? Because the U.S. government says that they don't care about UFOs. They're over it. They've stopped doing it. Project Blue Book is shut down. But everybody gives us the same answer. If you had an alien body in your possession, it's a dangerous place to be. And that's quite unfortunate. So basically where we're left at here is we may never find out what the answers. We may never get the answers to all these questions, all the callers that called in, but maybe one of these days, if they're out there, they're going to decide when they're going to come out and tell us what's really going on. I really want to thank our callers from around the world that shared their incredible UFO experiences. Aqua, any last words?
Yes, I was going to say that before the floods in Colorado, I actually saw a UFO when I was heading back home from the Devil's Backbone I think it's right off of Loveland. So
that's quite incredible because Stan Romanek sent us an incredible video right before the floods in Colorado. He lives in Colorado, of an incredible UFO sighting. The whole neighborhood came out and witnessed this. Anything else, Aqua?
I was really, I don't know, like I kind of thought for a moment, like I want to see them in my mind, and then they disappeared, and like the only thing I thought was, it's not time.
That's what we think. Maybe it isn't time with all the problems in the world. One of these days, we will all be enlightened. The open minds will come out. And
the only way that they'll actually come and show themselves to us is if we all remove the fear and doubts within our minds. We can't fear. We can't have doubt. We have to be able to have open hearts and trust one another and not fear the unexpected.
Aqua,
these are not all good.
Yeah, basically it's just kind of like my pointer where I really think what's happening is that the whatever they are, like using children, and they're using, you know, like all these parties and these raves and all these different, like, you know, where people are like tapping into their subconscious and all this stuff. And it's like you were saying about how to find an alien. Well, I think like where I would look is like all of these like parties that are taking place where people are like having out of body experiences, and like, you know, like the government is involved, and, you know, there's like tons of police officers everywhere. It's like, it's the perfect place to do an experiment, because like everybody may see something, but then they're like, oh yeah, they were just on drugs and they were hallucinating it. And they have like all these laser lights and like sequences and like codecs and everything. Like, I just think that there is, and I have more information basically like on Freemasons and stuff that's going on here in Dallas that I'd really like to share like another time. But definitely I think from what you guys have been talking about, you're definitely like, you know, you're like a drug dog on like the trail. Like you know the drugs are in the car. It's just how do you get in there and get them before, you know, somebody destroys the evidence, because it's definitely there, and y'all are like really hot on the trail, and it definitely made me call in and share my experiences, because I'm 100%. You can hear it in my voice. I'm scared. I'll get phone calls on my phone. I'll get harassed just for talking about it, you know, and I think that's really where there's roadblocks in this whole story, is because it seems like they don't want us to talk about this, and they want to make us seem paranoid and delusional when we have like masses of evidence pointing out that they are totally wrong, and there is something definitely going on. And I hope and I pray it's not MK Ultra or microwave technology, you know, going into our brains and all kinds of weird stuff, because it's definitely out there.
Well, we appreciate your courage coming out and sharing your experience. And unfortunately, the microwave and, you know, this whole technology, it's a great thing. We're enjoying it right now. We're able to communicate on it, and the world is waking up, and it's great that people could communicate. But then on the other side, it's so easy to switch off, and then what? It's all over at that point, back to 120 years ago, and then the information will be ultimately suppressed. Let's hope not, and we hopefully that something does happen in a benefit, and if there's anybody out there, we certainly want to find out, and you're exactly right. The information does come into Third Phase of Moon quite quickly. We're asking the world, we're not going to suppress anything. We've been journalists for over 25 years now, breaking exclusives around the world, and we're not afraid to get the word out. Thanks again, everybody. We got one last caller coming in.
No, but yeah, no, it's amazing, man. It's crazy. Just look at the skies, man. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate it. And, you know, if everybody here, we enjoyed the contact, and the best way to keep in contact with us is Skype or Facebook, Third Phase of Moon, and we'll try and get to everybody as best we can. We do have a hectic schedule. We're working. The team is small, but it is growing. The correspondents around the world helping us out. appreciate it. And everybody, keep your eyes on the sky, just like the last caller said.
Third phase of moon.
Just stand by, Aqua. We're going to get to your UFO sighting. Area code 305, welcome to Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah, hello?
Yes, hello. You're on air.
Yeah, Blake, I don't know, we talked before. I pretty much sent you an image of my implant, man. I pretty much took that out myself. I don't know if you remember pretty much.
I recall a conversation we had on the radio where you were going to basically do a self-operation removing the implant, and have you done so?
Yeah, man, it's already out. It's because pretty much when I was talking to you, it was already out, you know. I was pretty much explaining to you that it was insane, man. It's, oh, man, I have so much to tell you, but I didn't know where to start. But, yeah, man.
So, it would have been really nice to have the X-ray first with the implant within the body, no doubt.
Yeah, I send you the X-ray. I send you the X-ray, Blake. I send you the picture and the X-ray with it.
And if there... We're back, Third Phase of Moon. My name is Blake Cousins, and we're live, taking your calls from around the world in regards to UFO phenomenon, extraterrestrial activity, whatever it is, the unusual, the strange, the unexplained. We're taking your calls. Just last week, we were breaking news out of Wilmington. We had some callers that called in regards to a major flash over the skies of Wilmington, Ohio, and they thought it could have been a plane crash, but there was no reports. They called the police. They were getting the same sightings. Then we started to ask people on the ground what they thought it could be, and they were wondering if it could have been some kind of alien extraterrestrial craft, maybe crashing into the Wilmington area. And videos were posted the next day. Third Phase of Moon got the credit, breaking news on the radio show. So we're taking calls from around the world, and who knows what kind of breaking news we're going to be getting into next. But we're going to go to our first caller. Her name, she goes...
Like you or me, they're just like Nordic in resemblance. They're tall somewhat, but basically their mission here is to help enlighten people and to bring them into the light and to help end the cycle that has been cycling around this world for quite some time and breaking us of our bad ways and helping us become enlightened, and so we can evolve into the next stage.
It sounds like it's a great message. There are some other people that we've done documentaries, the Alien Abduction Diaries, and some explain that some of the extraterrestrials basically aren't so friendly, and their experiences are quite traumatic. We're going to be getting to the next callers here real soon, so just stand by. Go ahead, Aqua.
I know, it seems really weird when I recall it. A lot of people, when I usually tell them, they usually dismiss it as something as folly or just something that I've made up or whatever, and I wonder about it today. And
by the name of Aqua, she was making contact with us at Third Phase of Moon for about a week now, and we wanted to get her on the radio and, speak to her about what she wanted to share with us at Third Phase of Moon. Aqua, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, Aqua.
Yeah, anyways.
Thanks for being on the show. I know you were sharing some pictures with me in regards to your resemblance to what kind of possible alien civilization?
The Pleiadians, yes.
The Pleiadians. And do you think it's possible that you are a Pleiadian yourself?
I think that I have a great connection to them, if nothing else.
All right, Aqua, can you tell us who the Pleiadians are and what their mission here on Earth is? Have they been to Earth?
Well, basically the Pleiadians are just a race of people that look just... I still don't know what it is exactly, but I remember I was in middle school. I was just starting. I was in 6th grade. And I remember I was doing, my own thing, anxious and whatnot. And then I remember I woke up back when I was in elementary school. Something was weird. I had no idea what was going on. I talked to my mom. I told her what was going on. She just basically said I was having a bad dream. So I wondered what happened with all those years of my life I was a kid again, and I had to live all of that over again. So it helped me become enlightened faster, I think, or I guess something, I don't know.
Very interesting, Aqua. We're going to be, you stand by. We want to get to some more questions, but people are calling into Third Phase Moon, maybe wanting to report a UFO sighting right now. So we're going to take calls from around the world.
I was going to tell you about a UFO sighting,